correct database URL. It's not possible from your end. If you want, then you have to create one database from there. You have to fix the data. So we have databases correct in MySQL. It's related to Sailpoint, right? Yeah, you can. If you want, you can use same database. Also, if we can create a user or a table, then yeah, you can use the same, but it will create mess. Do one thing, or else try to create one database. Try to create some tables. From there you can fix the data right. Yeah, okay. So next, we have seen the Limited JDBC now. Now you are going to onboard Active Directory. Since when you have opened on Active Directory right already you have experience. Okay, yeah, okay. Now I'm going to onboard Active Directory applications. So I have selected the connector type as Active Directory. No issue, the correlation risk, these other things is going the same. Okay, just go to configuration. Here you have to mention IQ services, forest configuration, domain configuration. So any idea? What is forest configuration, domain configuration? So I have opened on Active Directory. I'm able to remember forest configuration. We have to define these things. If I'm going to install Microsoft Active Directory, I'm going to mention the forest name first. After that domain name I'm going to mention. Okay, so these are the things you are going to get it from. The client. You have to mention, what is forest name? What is the user password? This is going to be some service account. Okay, you have to mention if you want to create these applications. Okay, Exchange configuration. These are the details. Whatever in the red color star mark, it's mandatory. You have to provide to create an application. So I have created one dummy application. Let me open the ad. So in the configuration tab randomly have given some test. So you have to mention the domain name forest name. Is it clear, guys? So this is how you are going to mention. If it is a web-based application, then, since if it is a web-based application, then you are going to use some different connector, like web services or anything. In that scenario, configuration page will change something like this. You have to provide the basic URL authentication method, token URL, client ID, client secret. So these are the things you are going to provide. So I have explained everything. This is how we are going to create. Application. How means how. This is how we are going to onboard an application as part of aggregation task. Aggregation identities will be imported. Okay, since you got a requirement. Your manager says, we have a requirement to onboard an applications. Since you are new, you are not sure what kind of questions you are going to ask with the application team, because each and every details you are going to get in touch with you are going to get it from application team. Client, your client. So what kind of questions you can ask? Any idea? Depending on the good. For me, I think, basically it's going to be all the attributes that the application has. That's being required. Yeah, by the same way, we have to ask a number of questions because we are going to maintain identities and manage their accesses. So in that scenario, usually I'll ask, so how many type of users we have in this application? Like how many, I mean contractors. What kind of users, like contractors, temporary employee, permanent employee? So these kind of questions I'll ask usually. So if they have separate contractor, separate full-time employee, I mean they are using separate feed file. I'll make sure if we have to create 2 feed files. So I'll ask these kind of questions. I'll ask who is going to be the application owner. So because in the process of the onboarding, if I have any questions, I have to reach the application owner. So I'm going to ask who is going to be the application owner. Okay, who is going to be provided services for this application? So if before Sailpoint it used to be some technical team, right? When it comes to password reset or anything, you have to get in touch with them to do that. So who is going to be the provider? Usually I'll ask, apart from what is the source data? Because based on the data source data I'm going to decide what kind of connector I'm going to use. So I'll make sure, where the data has been stored. Okay, I'll ask them these kind of questions in simple, where the application has been stored, whether it's LDAP or any database or any Active Directory or any feed file spreadsheet, I'll ask, are any web-based application or any cloud? So something like so. Apart from that, I'll ask can you? I mean how many user account the application contains, like 50, 000, 60,000 or 1 lakh or some 5,000. How many identities are present, exist in the application? So I'll ask these kind of questions, okay. So what kind of password policy I'm going to define? What kind of provisioning we are going to define? Is it out of the box? One out of the box means default, that LCM provisioning workflow, or you want us to customize anything. So most probably 80 application team won't prefer for the customization, they will use for the LCM provisioning only, okay. So these kind of questions I'll ask, and certification related also, I'll ask. Let's learn about certification. After that we will talk. So these are the small things. I'll ask the application team.